In the last episode, we awake after the tragic events of the prior night, where our one-time foster father was cut down before our eyes. Beckoned by our childhood friend, Imowen,
Hey, it's me, Imowen.
who informs us she saw what happened to Gorion and urges us to search his body for further clues. Upon revisiting the grisly scene, among other items on Gorion and his assailants, we find a letter on his person sent from a mysterious figure urging Gorion to head to the Friendly Arm Inn to meet the friends he spoke of, Khalid and Jahira. Taking the note's advice, we head west and are greeted by many travelling denizens on our path, who impart various levels of advice on picking like-minded companions and the dangers of travelling alone in the wilderness. As if magically beckoned by the previous clue, we are happened upon by two potential companions. One human male named Zar, who appears quite mad, and his halfling companion Monteron, who tells us of their quest to investigate the iron shortage plaguing the area.
Monteron, you are so aggravating! 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor!
We agree to help them as long as they are happy to make a stop first at the Friendly Arm Inn. Upon arrival there, we are again assaulted by an unknown assailant as the bounty on our head grows.
Hi, friend.
Felling the assailant on the neutral grounds outside the inn, we head inside to meet Khalid and Jahira.
Calm yourself, dear. We must proceed carefully.
They give us condolences of our loss of their friend, Gorion, and tell us that they too have been tasked in investigating the ever-concerning iron shortage of the region. Thus, we, as an unlikely fellowship, put aside the foreboding attempts on our life and the greater plot that seems to surround us, and head south to Nashgal to investigate the iron shortage further.
How long must we wait here? Things stir to the south as we sit.
Gathering our party, we venture forth and arrive south in the town of Beregost 4 hours later, weary of our travels and seeking an inn to rest for a while. As chance has it, one Colin approaches us with directions, and if we ask for affordable inns, he gives us many names of inns in town. However, when querying the more luxurious spots, he does name the Feldy Post Inn to the southwest, which he says is quite friendly. Just a stone's throw away, as promised, next to a big stone pillar on the lower west side, resides the Feldy Post Inn. Out front is a welcoming courtesan who beckons to us and says,
I'm a fine-looking strumpet, ain't I?
well, I guess anything worth doing is worth doing slowly. You can't disagree there. Her companion then says,
Are you interested in some thrills, darling?
Too many girls follow the line of least resistance, but a good line is hard to resist.
it's a fun play on words. Clearly, they are out front to entice travellers to the more physical pleasures that a weary traveller may partake in, so we make our way inside the already welcoming inn.
Here now, get out! I don't like your type in here.
Upon entering the inn, we're immediately confronted by a hostile, drunk man named Mal, who insists we leave before 2 feet have been planted on the floor. And it seems his companion, Duncan, is egging him on.
You tell him, Marl.
We can choose to ignore Mal, however, he presses the matter, saying, Hey, I told you to get lost. Ain't no room here for your troublemaker strangers. Now, we do have a plethora of responses at our disposal. Most goad Mal into a further confrontation, whether we tell him that we go where we like, or if he has a problem with that, you can say one more word and I swear I'll run you through. Back off. Unfortunately, even if we tell him we don't want trouble, Mal is prone to escalating, saying, Are you threatening me? Practically where I live, and you threaten me? You sure must think you're tough with a blade on your belt. Why don't you drop that armory you're carrying and put your hide where your mouth is? With that, Mal attacks bare knuckle, as well as a cheeky Robert De Niro line in to boot.
Are you talking to me?
And if you choose to knock him out or kill him, he is worth 650 XP, a gem, some gold, and leather armor.
Hey, don't click me! I don't want any trouble!
His drinking buddy, Duncan, breaking the fourth wall, decides he wants no part of the encounter, telling us the Flaming Fist will deal with us. However, if we choose to take the moral high ground, we can garner 950 XP and find out what made Marl so hostile to strangers. And when he approaches us, instead we say, "No need to get bent out of shape. There's plenty of bar for all of us," to which he responds, "Hey, I take whatever shape I want. I'm sick of you freakish adventurers going out, consorting with God knows what, and dragging your trouble back into my hometown. What do you say to that?" And we say, "I just do what I think is right. We solve a lot more trouble than we cause. Well, very nearly anyways." And he says, "Oh, so you think it's funny, do you? You mess up the local economy with your treasure, you upset the balance of nature, you flash your magic around, and because of it, maybe somebody's son thinks it's fun and goes out and gets himself killed. It's a bad example and somebody ought to kick your ass for it." We then back up and respond, "Hold on, everyone goes their own path, and I'll not be held accountable for what the fates deal." His hostile veneer cracks into something else for a second, and he accuses, "He was a good boy till your kind came through town. You filled his head with nonsense, they did, and because of it, he's dead. Then why shouldn't I take that out of your hide?" To which we reply, "If you knew him like you think you did, then ask yourself if he wouldn't have gone anyway. It's a calling that you're born with. Nobody gives it to you." And he says, "It ain't true. He was gonna take over the farm and settle down. Maybe apprentice with Thunderhammer over the winter. He never wanted adventure." To which Duncan finally steps in and says, "That was what you wanted, Marl. Fun's fun, but you're blaming these folk for what couldn't be helped. That boy was a firebrand if there ever was." Marl, not being able to digest this, says, "No, he was settling down. He wanted. Duncan interjects saying, "That new plow you bought last year, he got the gold by helping clear kobolds near Ulgoth's beard. He wanted to make a difference, make the realms a bit safer, just like these folk most likely." To which Marl cries, "By Shantu, why couldn't he stay home?" And we comfort him, saying, "The realms call and you go." He sounds like a fine lad, taken too soon, but doing what he was meant. If you'll suffer my company, I'll buy you a round and toast his memory with you. He begrudgingly agrees, saying, "'Twould be fitting, I suppose. To Kenar Nephilim, rest ye well. I would be alone a while." And leaves to remember his lost lad and drown his sorrows. Duncan then tells us, "'Tis the calmest I done seen him in a week. Still, best you move along. Marl ain't known for his steady moods." We take Duncan's advice and seek out the second friendliest inn we can find instead. As we head outside, the moon still shining and our heads ever weary, we head east past the pillar in town and spy a lone bard named Garrick out front of a building titled The Burning Wizard.
Hello there. I have a pretty proposal for you.
"Hail, adventurers! I have a proposal for you. I have heard you're an excellent group of warriors. How would you like a well-paying job as bodyguards for my mistress?" We can tell him we don't hire out as mercenaries, to which he apologizes for taking up our time, heading inside the Burning Wizard building and ending our chance for a side quest. Although this playthrough will focus mainly on the main quest and not follow companions, this is an exception as A, it's fun, and B, it's on our way to a good night's rest. So instead, we take Garrick up on his offer, saying, "We're always on the lookout for money. Tell us more." He then informs us he is Garrick and works for one Silky Rosanna, a skilled musician and actor. She skipped performing because of a man named Feldypost, who no doubt owns the inn of the same name. It seems she has some thugs after her and is willing to pay 300 gold as protection money. If we oblige, a cutscene takes us to his mistress Silky around the corner in front of the Red Sheep Inn. We introduce ourselves to Silky and she looks us over saying we are worth a little extra gold for protection.
Greetings, mercenaries. I am Silky, thespian extraordinaire.
raising our bounty from 300 to 400 gold. Silky then informs us that we must simply dispose of the ruffians hired to threaten her. However, she warns, strike fast, and do not, under any circumstances, speak to them, as one is a mage whose mystic words can sway even the most wise of men. No wonder she wants to pay us more. This mage sounds deadly, as if on cue the bandits arrive and Silky advises us to strike when she gives the signal. The leader, Faltus, says, "Greetings, Silky. We're here as you've asked and have the..." Silky cuts off Faltus and shrieks, "Don't try to threaten me. I won't be easy prey to beat on. I've bought friends." Faltus, confused, stammers, "What are you talking about? We're here with the gems." Silky cuts him off again, yelling, "Shut up! There'll be no weaseling out of this one. Strike now! Kill them all!" We can either oblige our misdirecting mistress's order and attack the gang on sight. She tells us not to let even one of them live. Garrick, meanwhile, confused, pleads, "What are you doing, Silky? Have you gone mad? These are innocent men you're attacking." Silky, then showing her true colours, sneers, "Your snivelling altruism has always made me sick, Garrick. Shut up and stay out of our way." We then can murder the three men in cold blood and loot their corpses, in which they drop a total of 3 potions of defense and an assortment of gems that they were previously discussing. Silky then says, "You've done a good job. For all your efforts, here is the money I owe you. Perhaps we will meet again." Garrick, on the other hand, spits, "You're no better than Miss Silky. It will catch up with you someday. Mark my words," and enters the inn.
Yes, sir. Gorion would have none of this. 'Tis shameful.
If we instead decide to call Silky out on her ruse, saying, "Stop this madness. We don't murder those who are obviously innocent men," she scoffs, "Our deal is off. In any case, you're probably too cowardly to be any good in a fight. I'll deal with them myself after I deal with you," and attacks the group, to which she immediately starts casting spells, although we rush her before she gets one off and loot her body for a tiny amount of gold, an enhanced quarterstaff, and potion of invulnerability. Heading back to her one-time allies, their leader Faltus states,
Hello there.
"We thank you for stopping the evil witch before she killed us. Here, take this as a token of our appreciation." And with the reward in hand, Garrick then says, "Silky is dead. I guess she had it coming. You can't be evil like her and expect to get away with it. I am out of a job now. Would it be too much to ask if I could join up with you?" Although Garrick has his own further story and bard abilities, we will save it for another video and instead thank him and send him on his way. As we head into the Feldy Post Inn for some much needed rest, as soon as we enter, a man named Carlat threatens us.
You're at the end of your rope, I'll wager.
And no matter our response, he admits there's an ever-growing price on our head and attacks the group. After Carlat is disposed of, he drops chainmail, a medium shield, axe, and bounty notice once again, stating there is now 350 gold on our head. We then see the bartender for our much-needed rest and finally sleep in front of a nice warm fire. We awaken at dawn and collect our gear, heading to the southeast of town to Nashkel when we first spy a local smithy. In need of repairs as Khalid broke his sword a while back,
Kiss me, Blarmy. What you wish done?
and we identify our quarterstaff we gathered off Silky, which does +1 damage, and sell some of our wares. We then head south and put Beregost behind us, into a forest on the way to Nashkel. There we encounter a boy named Shelley, who tells us he is out alone picking fruit for his mum.
Mother said not to talk with strangers.
We ask him if his mother knows he is out here, to which he replies, "Mama thinks I'm playing at Bestie Finnell's house, but her grandma smells funny, so I never go there. I just told Mama I was there so she wouldn't worry. I'll pick some fruit or berries or whatever, and Mama can make pies to sell or something. I'm safe because I'm small and quick." And with that, he heads south, down the path, never to be seen again. If we instead say, "You little brat, you shouldn't be out in the woods alone. Go on, git." He gives us extra lip, saying, "You tough bunch of jerks, huh? You think you can push me around just 'cause you're big? Well, when I'm all grown up, I'ma smack you so hard you'll starve to death doing cartwheels. Just you wait. What extra colourful language from a 7-year-old. Just south of the sign, not a stone's throw away, is the danger we spoke of, a particularly nasty Ogrillin and his friend.
You mess with me, you mess with you.
After receiving a girthy lump on the head for attempting to charm one of the Ogrillons, we finally drop the both. The first holds a charm spell scroll and the other a note from one of their unwitting victims that reads, "My dearest Miriam, the roads have been difficult, but I've arrived safely here in Arm. I think it would be wisest if I return by sea, however. Perhaps sometime after the first snow have fallen. I trust this letter reaches you. The halfling I hired to carry it struck me as an honest enough chap. Always and forever, Ro." Whether the halfling was intercepted or not, we are half curious, half saddened by how the Ogrillon came in possession of this personal parchment. We take a moment to gather ourselves, wondering where that little scamp got to and how much danger he is in. Jahira healing us with a spell of cure, we then see a road sign that says we're approaching Nashkel, to which 3 Flaming Fist enforcers then roll up on us.
I serve the Flaming Fist.
The head mercenary tells us we're under arrest for banditry and highway robbery. We can immediately give up and tell them, "Take us as prisoner. We'll even throw down our weapons." To which he says, "Good. Actually, boys, I don't think we should take in these bandits. They don't deserve the comforts of a cell. All they deserve is a quick execution." As the Flaming Fist are quite formidable, it is unadvisable to seek combat at such a level, especially with the trouble it will stir with their companions later on.
Death is not the end.
Instead, we can seek to disarm them, saying, "Oh, you've got the wrong guys. We're not part of any bandit gang." He then asks why would he believe us, and we can either try a bribe or common sense, saying if we were bandits, why would we be out in the open and that we ourselves are hunting down bandits in the region? To which he says we're free to go and leaves us to chase down some real bandits. We then head further south to the area next to a cliff called North Nashkel Road. We first encounter a group of hobgoblins who attack us on sight, and we are forced to dispatch them. We also find a gaggle of human corpses not far from the camp, and it looks like a family amulet that is attached to a nearby quest. As we are, however, focusing on the main storyline, we press onwards. Around the corner, we then happen into an ambush of bandits. The iron shortage, it seems, has made the highwaymen bolder than ever. And it also explains the Flaming Fist mercenary suspicion previously. We find some scalps off the bandit corpses, which will no doubt show proof of our gruesome harvest, if someone were inclined to reward such gruesome trophies, that is. And then we head south to Nashkel. It is then we are intercepted by one Lord Foreshadow.
Don't touch me! I might catch something.
As his name states, and in Baldur's Gate's nature, breaks the fourth wall, as he mentions Neverwinter. Depending on our response to him, he will either foreshadow the events of Neverwinter in the first response, or the third gives us clues to Baldur's Gate 2, to which he will speak of his time in the great city of Uthkatla, and says that we should consider travelling there as it will no doubt be popular in the future.
Away with you, beggar!
And with that, we travel 8 hours to the township of Nashkel, so ending Chapter 1.
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
That's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the bell notification to stay up to date with future episodes, as I release them weekly as we explore the full story of Baldur's Gate before Baldur's Gate 3 comes out. And if you're looking to gather a party before venturing forth, join us on Discord, which is linked in the description, as we prepare to group up for Baldur's Gate 3 and talk about all the lore. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, Traveller.